All right, guys. So this is the template of this strategy that's going to help us to grow our trading account. Okay. Now, this doesn't only apply to only small trading account, irrespective of your account size. Even though you're trading prop firm account, this strategy can help you guys. All right. And one thing you guys need to understand is that we are working with just basically 2 time frames, with this strategy. The first one is the daily time frame. That's why you guys see this illustration here. The second one is the lower time frame. This could be probably 1 hour time frame because I'm a 1 hour time frame here, but you can either swap between 30 minutes or 1 hour time frame. Okay, when I get to the chart, I'm going to show you guys the example. But first of all, let me explain what's going on here. All right, now this is usually our daily time frame that we use for our direction of the market. By now, most of you guys that have been following me on this community, we use daily time frame for direction. This is the day we are interested to trade. Let me pick up my arrow 2 here. This day is the day we are interested to trade. All right, this is the day we want to place our trade. Okay, now one thing you guys need to understand is that because we are dealing with small capital, for example 10 USD, 20 USD, 30, 50 USD, depends what small capital means to you. Some people, $100 is a small capital to them. So we want a situation whereby we can get on board, get our entry close to the lowest point of the day that price ever traded to. So we want a situation whereby we can get our entry somewhere around this low of the day, whereby that's the lowest point the market got to. And what I meant by that explanation is that we want a situation whereby the market doesn't put us on a drawdown, and if there should be any drawdown, it shouldn't be that much because you are dealing on a small account. Imagine placing trade on a 10 USD account and then the market started trading lower when you are buying and there's a much drawdown, you are going to get kicked out of the market. So we want a situation whereby we get on board on the market and then the market turn immediately and start pushing up. That's what you guys are seeing here. And for that to be possible, there are 2 things we want to work with. The first is the session of the market, the time of the market, because we want the right timing of the market whereby we can get on board, and then the market just start moving to our direction. So because of that, this structure you are seeing here alone is not just enough. Let me take off this horizontal line. So this is usually the normal entry pattern you guys will see on internet. So this is not enough. We want a situation whereby we can incorporate the session of the market, and it's usually ICT, London key zone, and New York key zone. I'm going to explain it right now when I get to the chart. So we want a situation whereby this retracement, trade back into the London key zone or perhaps New York key zone. If we don't get the entry during the London key zone, of course, we are going to get it during the New York key zone. And if we don't get the entry any of these 2 zones, either the London or New York key zone, then we know that day there's no trading day for us that day. And I want you to understand this truth, guys. Before I go and show you guys the examples, you may not see this setup every day in the market, but trust me, any day you see it is high probability trading day. So out of the 5 trading days of the week, because Monday to Friday, probably may see it twice a week or 3 times a week. And trust me, it's high probability entry setup. So you may not see it every day. That's why this small account I've been managing now, there's no trade. There is no active trade running today because today is Monday and I've not seen my entry in the market. I started trading this account last week from, 10 US dollar and then it has gotten to 85 USD. So probably by tomorrow or next tomorrow, I'll still place more trade on this account and let's see how far I can get it to before the end of the week. Why do I always show up all this my broker account trading? So that you guys know what I'm teaching you guys is what I'm using to execute trade on my account, both my broker account and my prop firm account. Let's go to the chart and then I'm going to give you guys some examples. So remember what I said, we want a situation whereby we get on board and then the market just moves to our direction immediately. And I said there are 2 things involved. The first one, we want a situation whereby we trade inside the key zone of the market. And then the second one, that reminds me, you see, I have not even explained this part, okay? We don't just want to trade inside the zone, all right? We want a situation whereby the market trade into the previous day PDRA. It could be order block, favor lookup, or whatever PDRA here. That's why you are seeing this previous day here. So that escaped me and thank God I could remember it while explaining it, all right? So these are the 2 things we need. We want the PDRA from previous day or previous day's PDRA. So we want a situation whereby where we are referencing is from previous day, not current day. Because sometimes, trust me guys, when it is time to execute trade, for example, during the session of the day, you may observe that price has already started moving to the upside like this. And then this will now be the London key zone or perhaps New York key zone. So you can't reference PDRA here, and you can also go back to this move, which is the previous day PDRA. So it will be difficult for you to reference it. So trading days like this, you just avoid. So what I'm going to do, wipe everything on my chart right now, and then let's take a look at example. For example, I'm on USD card right here, and trust me, price has been doing very, very nice. I would have loved to work with, this current price action, okay, because this is ICT London key zone, and how to identify London key zone is very simple. It's either you are making use of this indicator I have on my chart here, let me pull it out. This in ICT-KZ bosses, or perhaps you can be identifying them manually on daily basis, and it's usually 1 a.m. in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning, depending on the time you want to use, to 5 a.m. in the morning. So this is my sweet spot on daily basis where I want to place the trade. And remember, I told you guys there are two things involved. The first one is this, session of the market. Then second one, obviously, is going to be the PDRA, and I love what price is doing right now from this other block. But I can't give example with this one now because obviously this is current day price action. All right, this is Monday. But I can give you example with on Friday price action. Okay, you see price traded into the key zone. Where is the key zone moment? London. All right, something like this. And then also New York. It's either you are using London or you are using New York. Then the first thing you need to do, first of all, always make sure there's a retracement. If you are working with this strategy, make sure there's retracement. If there's no retracement, it will be difficult for you to trade. And if there is retracement, please make sure that you are referencing previous day, all right? Because there are, just like as I showed you guys from that illustration, there are conditions whereby the market has started moving before, the session of the market. For example, this could be London, all right? And this is previous day, this is current day. You can't reference PDRAs here. So if you come to trade, I'm still going to give you guys an example of days like this. If you come to trade days like this, my only advice or my tiny advice is that either you stay off, wait for another day, because I told you guys this setup doesn't work on every day, okay? At least 2 days or 3 days of the week, and it's high probability. That is why I can confidently use it to grow my small trading account. And one of the reasons why I always grow my small trading account is because I use my broker account to pay my, my personal bills, all right? Then my Profim account, I treat it as an investment. So I always try to make sure I make withdrawal from my Profim account maybe once in a month or once in 2 months, or perhaps sometimes once in 3 months. But my broker account, if I go to my withdrawal history here now, you are going to see that it's almost every week, and sometimes it could be twice in a week. All right, this is the last 30 days. Okay, I can pull out other days like last 7 days. The last 7 days I've made withdrawal like 3 times withdrawal the last 7 days. Now, because obviously I'm going to need money, of course, so I try to put so much effort on my broker account so that it can keep growing, and that is why you need strategies like this, okay? Because if you don't want to be engaging on the market whereby the market is not ready to move, it will put you on a long-term consolidation, and then you'll be on drawdown for as long as possible. That's why I will kindly advise you, when the market has already traded above, especially traded above this high, because this is the range you are supposed to work with. This is the retracement you're supposed to work with. Then price are traded above this high. All right, let me use this horizontal to indicate it. This horizontal area to indicate it. Price are traded above this high, and then this is the current day you are on. Trust me, during this key zone moment, you are not even good. Sometimes you may not even see any retracement. But if I see retracement, I may not engage it because price will just keep going. We just keep going to the upside. You may be lucky by jumping on it at this point, and then sometimes you make profit, but most of the time you are going to get burned out because while you jump on the move, the market will just trade to the downside to form this retracement, and then they're going to take you out. And that is why I don't usually advise students to trade once price have gone above this high. Okay, we will still give examples of stuff like this. So I just want a situation whereby we can engage the market, and then that instant price will start pulling up to our direction. Now, if you take a look, so far I've been talking about the entry. I've never talked about the direction because you don't want to trade against the direction, all right? Because trust me, guys, while the direction may be bullish, for example, on daily time frame, the direction is bullish. We are expecting buy to the upside, all right, the next day. So while we may be expecting this buy to the upside, there are conditions whereby on lower time frame, you are still going to see setup, for example, bearish setup like this, and people are going to be engaging it because price traded to a PDRA to set to the downside. You don't go against direction, no matter how beautiful the setup, the entry setup is. Direction is more powerful than entry. So that's why you must wait if there is no entry setup for bullishness. And if you take a look at this illustration I'm just giving you right now, you will observe this is not something we can reference from previous day price action, which is this day. So we're going to talk about direction, but let's finalize this entry. Let me be done with this entry. So we have just identified the session of the market. The next thing we're going to talk about is the PDRA to reference, which is this fair value gap here. That is one price make use of. Now, one important, okay, this is even what I'm talking about. Oh, you can see it, very beautiful. This is the example I've told you guys. You can either avoid or maybe you can engage at your own risk. You see, prior to the, of course, this strategy is one of the best trading strategy you can work with. Okay. So prior to the London session or New York session, the market is already moving. All right, so you don't expect to reference previous day. There is no previous day anymore. Look at the move right here. It has started pushing to the upside. Now, the only way you can be lucky here for you to make money is if the previous days prior to this one, you were on the move already. Sometimes I do it, I can place a trade and then leave it to run for some days, like 2-3 days. All right. So if that is the case, that is the only way you can, of course, be on the move on this day, because sometimes you still need to hold your trade. All right. Trust me, guys, I do it a lot. I hold my trade as long as possible. For example, it could be that, okay, I didn't place trade here, or it could be that this was my entry, all right, this day. This is Wednesday, 13th of August. This is the session, all right. Then I just have to trace the PDRA. Remember, I told you guys it must not be the most recent day before it. It could be previous. That's why I told you guys previous day or previous days. This is the PDRA that I may make use of, all right. So when you're not sure, before you take your trade, guys, there are two things you must consider: the time of engagement, the session. All right, and then the PDRA you're working with. PDRA means other block, fair value gap. Now, no one has more power than the other. It could be other block, it could be fair value gap. It could be something else that there's a turning point. One thing you must always, take note of is let there be a reaction during the key zone moment. Okay, and then you check your left-hand side. So, in a nutshell, I don't reference PDRAs ahead of the session. What I'm trying to say is that, the market is retracing right now. So, as the retracement is going on, I don't just come out and say this is the PDRA is going to use. No. I don't do that. There's no specific PDRA that price must use. That is not the way to think as a trader. There's no specific one, right? Like this is the one it must use. So what I do is I take off all this stuff, and then be dynamic. So what do I mean by dynamic? First of all, wait for my time. Very important. This is how I engage it. Wait for my time. As I'm waiting for my time, it could be London, it could be New York. I'm waiting for this guy to come lower. All right? To come lower. As it's coming lower, I am monitoring. As the moment you get to the time of day, I am looking at the reactions, certain reaction. And there's a video I did on this channel that you can make use of some certain signals. Some of those signals could be just the first order block that takes place during the session of the day, and it's always there. All right. For example, there's another block that took place inside the session. All right, and if you take a look, even this one now, I may not even take my entry because there's no other block yet. I'm going to do a special video on this statement I just made here, this other block, but I'm going to link the video I've done already in the past to this one if you want to reference it. But I'm going to do another video regarding this. I just remember I'm going to do it so that you guys can learn more. Okay, now something else that I've been bothering my mind to talk about all this while is regarding direction of the market. And let me just go to daily time frame. Now, for direction of the market is simple, guys. Trust me, it's very, very simple. I'm on USD card right now. I'm going to clear my chart. And if you even take a look, this is going to be a bullish day as well, with reference to everything we use for direction of the market. Now, what you need to do is just keep monitoring this move. Today is Monday. Just come back to this chart and then check if there's a signal during the London key zone or New York key zone. If there's no signal, it will keep retracing, and sometimes it could even serve as a reversal. But this is how to frame direction. You have to wait for the first reversal. After there's a reversal in the market like this is a turning point. Continue on that direction steady until there's a new reversal. For example, this one. This is how to do it. You continue on this direction too until there's a reversal. For example, this one. You continue, I swear. This one, I'm not sure it's going to be a reversal yet, but we'll still continue buying. Okay, it's like that. It's like that. There's a reversal here. We keep selling. There's a reversal here to buy for bullishness. We keep buying. This is how to frame reversal. Okay, so you that have a small trading account, make sure you don't just trade it on any strategy. There are different strategies in the market, different strategies on YouTube, on internet. But make sure the one you are working with is something that has high probability entry setup. And this is a very, very, very good video, very good strategy you can work with. And one more thing I'm going to talk about before ending this video is the management part. All right. Strategy is not enough. Entry is not enough. Direction is not enough. Management is more important. The fact that you can see me show you guys an account I've been holding now. Okay. This is my withdrawal history. Let me go to my account. So the fact that Oh, come on, go to the account. So the fact that I could show you guys, 85 USD that have been growing from 10 USD upward, that shows that there's proper management. Entry is not all that led to this. Direction is not all that led to this. Although they have the role that they play, but the most major part of it that led to this success is the management part. I'm doing a video that, of course, we are going to launch probably this week or later this week. It's like a full stack video that talk about how to balance, your technical analysis, your management part of trading. And I will show you guys my strategy towards the management part of trading in that video. So there are a lot of things for you guys to learn while connected to this channel. And if you are new here, please make sure you subscribe. Don't just watch and then leave, okay? And then trust me, guys, more content like this, more valuable content will be coming up for you guys on this channel.